Hey everybody, Jeremy here, coming to you this afternoon to talk about a very important topic. That is core values. And this matters a lot for ministry leaders such as myself and all of us who are trying to make a difference through our churches and nonprofit organizations. It's very important that we have our core values straight. And core values are something that we use as a communication tool to be able to talk to people about what matters to our organization. In fact, we like to say it this way: values communicate what's important. They communicate what really matters to our organization, what matters to us. They communicate that. And so we want to talk about them for just a couple of minutes. You know, when I first started working at my home church, we had a lot of values, at least on paper, right? They were all written down. We used to talk about, we have 5 core values, and then we added a 6th. And the problem with the core values was we were constantly having to communicate to people, this is what we believe. Instead of taking the approach of saying, okay, what do we really have that makes us tick, and what do we truly believe and have at our core, and how do we multiply that good DNA that we do have as a value that's already established in our organization. Now, if you were starting an organization, you might have the benefit of getting to set the culture and to set the values. And of course, as leaders, we want to be change agents of culture. And of course, to begin to practice our values, as has been famously said, not just putting values on the walls, but having them walked out in the halls, right? But if we wanted to take a better examination of our values, we needed to take time to say what already matters to this organization, not what do we wish mattered, or what would be nice if it mattered, or what would make a very nice list that other people would look at our website and go, wow, that's a very nice list of values. But what values did we already have? And as we kind of looked around and we took stock, we boiled it down to 3 things. We said, okay, Praise Family Church is all about the Word of God. We're about the full gospel, the full Pentecostal experience. We believe in that. So we are all about the full Word of God. Then we said we're all about missions, because that is a distinctive. That's something that is unique to us. And we want to help take the value that helps determine the ministry's distinctiveness and help explain who we are through these values. Again, although you could say, oh, these values are who we want to be, we're really trying to take our core values and say, who are we? And if we say, okay, we need to change who we are, well, that's a whole nother conversation. Now we're talking about change. But what we're talking about is communicating what matters and communicating things that are important about the values that already exist. Let's take another look at this right here. Values communicate what's important. What's important to our organization. Not what we would like to be important, or what used to be important, or what could be important, but what is important now. So we started saying, start for a great big long list. Praise Family Church, all about the Word, all about missions, and then we added all about family. Family is our middle name, and that's where our motto came out of, because we realized our name was Praise Family Church. And we said, okay, we have a motto out of that. Family is our middle name. We're all about family, and it was another way to communicate those core values, those same things that really matter to us. Again, it's about saying what really matters to our organization as we are, not as we wish we were. And that's a lesson that I had to learn to understand the reality of core values and what's important about them. So just to recap, values determine a ministry's or a church's distinctiveness, and that's very important. We want to understand what separates us from every other church and every other ministry that's out there, so that people can understand whether or not they want to connect with us. Even if somebody connects and you say, oh, we connected because of this wonderful list of values that you made up, eventually they're going to realize that you don't have the goods. So it's important that we're setting these values correctly from the beginning. And then we understand that values communicate what's important. And so we want to get our core values, we want to have them right, and we want to have them set based on the kind of value that the organization already has within its DNA. Again, we don't like the DNA, we don't like the culture. Well, we've got to work on changing it. That's another lesson for another day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this afternoon as we took just a couple minutes to talk about core values.